Hey everybody, it's Saratoga, and today I want to answer the question, why is it so hard to be yourself? Now, this is a question that we may never ask ourselves because we just kind of assume that it's naturally difficult to be ourselves, right? And you know, we're always hearing about authenticity and how it's so important to just be real and be authentic and be honest and truthful about who you really are. But why is it so difficult, right? So let's talk about that because you know, it really shouldn't be hard at all, right? I mean, if you think about it, guys, that should be the easiest thing in the whole world. Now, I really think it's important to examine this question because this is so significant when it comes to our spiritual awakening and our evolution as human beings back into the truth of who we really are. So let's start with one simple fact. As a culture, a society, and I think this is possibly even a worldwide situation, we tend to assume that it's normal for it to be difficult to be who we are. We tend to assume that it's just completely normal to find that really tough to do. So why don't we start with saying, you know what? That doesn't sound too normal. I mean, after all, look at nature, look at the flowers, look at the trees, look at the animals. I mean, none of those creatures have any trouble at all being who they actually are, right? And we are so much more intelligent. You'd think that we humans should be the very best at being who we are. If the rest of nature can do it, how come we have such a struggle with that, right? So to answer this question, we really have to come to terms with something that is just so routine, is so totally accepted as normal, but it's really not. And what we have to come to terms with, you guys, is the fact that from the moment we take our first breath, we are measured, we are judged, and we are shaped and told to be a certain way, regardless of whether or not it matches us. I mean, I've had 2 kids, so I know how it starts at birth. You know, you get measured. Everybody wants to know, how old's your baby? How old's your little child? And how far along are they on what I always call the conveyor belt, right? Are they measuring up? Are they doing what they're supposed to at this age? And so that's what's happening to you as a baby when you don't even know what's going on, but it's all being projected on you. And then as a young child, you're hearing it. You're supposed to do this. You're this age. You need to go here. You need to go there. You need to act this way. As you get older, you're told, okay, these are your options in life, and it doesn't matter if it matches you or not. You see, this is the thing, you guys. We're never told it's supposed to come from within us. We're told we're supposed to look outside of us, and here are all your options, and you get to pick which person you want to be. You get to pick your profession. You get to pick what you're going to wear because you're told what to wear, right? I mean, you have to dress like everybody else. They're just social norms, and you have to conform to that. And then, you know, I really have a thing about birthdays, guys. I don't like birthdays because birthdays are all about measuring how well you're doing at conforming to the status quo. Every birthday tells you where you're supposed to be, what you can and can't be doing. It's just like, who needs that, right? So anyway, we are literally inundated our entire lives, every day, every week, month, year, you name it. We are being measured as to how well we are conforming and complying and how uniform this whole thing is in terms of society at large, right? And honestly, that is so repressive. It's like we're forced almost to repress any of our own inspirations, our own feelings about our own expression. And think about this. Have you ever heard that public speaking is the #1 greatest fear that people have? Why would that be the case? Because you see, by the time you've put on all of these layers and layers and layers of masks, what is a mask? It's like masquerade, right? Masquerading as this person you're not. Masquerading as this person you were told to be. This person that makes everyone approve of you and yes, you're doing a good job, right? That mask, that masquerade is so, we hide behind that because it's safe, because we pretty much can predict that if that mask is a good one, people are going to like us, right? People are going to say we're fine, we're okay, we're doing well. Back to what I was saying about the fear of public speaking, I think what it is it's like, who wants to get up in front of a whole group of people and be judged for how good a mask they have on? Because that's what we think we're supposed to be doing in everyday life, and God knows we don't want to do that on a stage in front of a bunch of people, right? So when you're trying to live from behind that mask, it's no wonder it's so difficult to simply be yourself, right? So the essence of why it's difficult to just be authentic and be who we are is because we are told that if we don't create a good enough mask, if we don't create a good enough persona for ourselves, there's something wrong with us, right? So here's what I want you guys to think about. The mask that you think you have to have on, the persona that's not really you, that's not really real for you, that you believe you have to live from behind, is the creation of the outer world. It's not necessarily your creation. Because if you feel that you have a fear of just being who you are, it's probably because you are living behind a false persona to make the world happy, to make everybody else happy, but it may not be making you very happy at all, right? And the reason this is so important is because our purpose in evolving as human beings, our purpose in spiritual awakening and ascension is to unleash the power of who we are as creators. And guys, we cannot do that if we're living behind a mask. We cannot do that and maintain an artificial persona to make the world happy. Because you see, the beauty of our human nature is that every one of us is so unique in a very beautiful way. And if you doubt that, just look at nature. I mean, my goodness, the extreme diversity and beauty of nature. I mean, look at under the ocean. Look at how much gorgeousness is under the ocean itself. Look at the gorgeousness of the forest and all the creatures. I mean, how many beautiful creatures are there in nature? How many beautiful flowers? How many beautiful plants? Where is it written that we humans are all supposed to be the same? I mean, that's crazy. We should be the most diverse, the most wonderful, the most just stunningly gorgeous beings that ever lived, right? So what I'm really talking about here is a pretty dramatic paradigm shift from what you give your authority to. Are you tired of this false outer world demanding that you wear this mask, demanding that you have the correct persona to be socially and acceptable in whatever way? Are you just tired of that? And are you willing to say, hey, that's not me, that's not who I am, and shift the importance, shift the authority back to how you were created? Somehow you were created in a beautiful way. You were created from love, you were created from light, and you were created to manifest the beauty of your own unique self-expression. So that's my message for you today. I just wanted to give you guys a little food for thought about why it might be so difficult to be yourself. Because you know, it's really time to free ourselves from that mental prison, because we have been kind of forced into this prison of that mask, that false persona. And gosh, don't you just want to break out of that? Don't you just like long to break free of that and just relax and be yourself? Okay, so I want to encourage you to tune into yourself and experiment, explore a little bit, just in whatever situation you're comfortable in. Just see if you can start to loosen up and release yourself from the imprisonment of that outer demand that has been put upon us to be a certain way. So I hope that's given you something to contemplate that will actually help you in feeling free and feeling empowered and feeling more inclined to just simply be yourself. And leave me a comment below and let me know if you have felt this way in your life. If you've ever felt like, gosh, I feel like I'm just not being myself. I feel like I'm wearing this mask all the time. And just let me know if you've had that experience, if you've ever even thought about any of these things. I'd really be curious to know. And remember to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time I present a new video to help guide you on your spiritual awakening. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and remember to share it out with your friends if you feel that they would benefit as well. And with that, I'm sending you loads of love, light, and positive energy. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.